I ain't got nothing against you personally, but my partner wants to get his hands on the mother load, see? I haven't done this for a while. Hope I'm not too rusty.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at role-playing games on the PS1 that hold up remarkably well even 3 decades later. God, I'm so old. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Ha! Mankind! A cesspit of hatred and lies! Fight for them, and die for their sins!
Admittedly, Castlevania Symphony of the Night isn't typically the first game you think of when compiling PS1 RPGs, with its fame coming more from exploration-style gameplay. However, there are quite a few RPG systems at work within this highly revered title. The incorporation of RPG-like elements was a first for the series and allowed players to customize their Alucard to their preferred playstyle. By exploring the castle and battling enemies, players can unlock a myriad of weapons and abilities, while upgrading Alucard for greater dangers that lie ahead and becoming the all-powerful supernatural hunter worthy of the family name. The game's non-linear approach to exploration became industry-changing. The need for specific abilities to access previously inaccessible areas redefined the genre pioneered by the Metroid series and has since become the genre standard.
You look like you're doing well for yourself.
And? You didn't come here to flatter me.
True.
Dragon Quest VII. Few series outside of Final Fantasy have the legacy that Dragon Quest does. As the inspiration for that genre-defining series, Dragon Quest has perfected the formula it helped pioneer. While the series' 8th entry tends to get the majority of the attention, Dragon Quest VII deserves just as much recognition for its rewarding combat, impeccable character designs thanks to Akira Toriyama, and its staggering playtime that can take well over 100 hours, which was unheard of at the time. Players were also given more freedom in how to customize their character thanks to the deep and varied class system. Companions play a more important role than ever this time around, even offering advice during combat encounters, furthering your dependency on their assistance, and deepening your relationships throughout the experience. The journey may be long, but it's one worth taking. Mega Man Legends 2.
Confused? That's not surprising, I guess. After all, you have lost your memory, haven't you? But that doesn't really matter.
Mega Man might be more recognized for his 2D outings, but Capcom made 2 of what are widely regarded as some of the Blue Bomber's best outings as action RPGs. Fleshing out the characters and world fans already knew and loved, Mega Man Legends and its sequel are full of all the traditional role-playing goodness you'd expect, but with a Mega Man flair. With a large open world to explore, missions and side quests to complete, as well as dungeons to explore for upgradable equipment, Mega Man Legends 2 gives fans everything they could have hoped for in a fully 3D game. An oftentimes hilarious script gives fan-favorite characters wonderful moments to grow into fully fledged characters who were just as memorable as Mega Man himself. If you're even a casual fan of the series, these legends are not to be missed.
How come we have to go to so much trouble over one little blue guy? Blue guy? Are you talking about me? Blue? Are you talking about me? No, not you! The guy down there!
Star Ocean: The Second Story. HD 2D remakes might be all the craze these days, but Star Ocean: The Second Story was already pioneering the graphical style back on the PS1. The gorgeous 2D sprite characters against the 3D backgrounds are still impressive today. The compelling sci-fi fantasy narrative is full of multiple recruitable characters who all have their own detailed side quests that rival the main campaign. While many of these recruitable party members are completely missable on an initial playthrough, players are strongly encouraged to track them down. Depending on their choices, they can affect the entire game's narrative, leading to one of almost 90 possible endings. Combined with deep customization options for specialties and an innovative battle system that allowed players to battle in real time while customizing their companions' behaviors in combat, the second story became the standard for the Star Ocean series going forward. Parasite Eve. Most people forget that Parasite Eve is, in fact, a turn-based RPG, liking it more to a Resident Evil-style clone than a horror-centric role-playing game. That comparison isn't without merit, though. The modern-day setting was unlike anything else in the genre at the time, as was the survival horror gameplay in between the uncommon approach to traditional turn-based combat. During encounters, players are free to move around the arena, dodging incoming enemy attacks while the game freezes during the player's turn, allowing them to tactically plan their attacks. The mutated creatures and enemy designs still hold up with the best Resident Evil has to offer. The game's realistic and often horrific CGI cinematics are just as unsettling today. Parasite Eve managed to blend supernatural horror and traditional RPG mechanics into its own genre, and few have managed to recreate this peculiar formula since. Suikoden 2. Initially overlooked in the wake of the breakout success of Final Fantasy on PS1, Suikoden 2 managed to slowly pull in players with its impeccable writing, dealing with heavy subject matter in a balanced, nuanced way that also somehow managed to craft compelling reasons for the over 100 recruitable characters to join you on your adventure. Released in the latter years of the PS1, its visuals didn't quite stand up to its peers of the time, but that only added to its charm, showcasing the brilliant writing of the narrative and its characters. The battle system was solid enough and offered enough variety that the formula never got stale, and specific party members got to shine in story-centric duels. The even more impressive massive battles switched up the combat entirely for more strategic style set pieces, crafting something wholly original in the rapidly overcrowded genre. Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross had the unenviable task of following up what is widely regarded as one of the greatest video games of all time, Chrono Trigger. Despite not always measuring up to those high standards, Chrono Cross is one of the best JRPGs on the PS1. The gorgeous visuals remain just as crisp and vibrant today. The characters, all 45 of them, were unique and wonderfully creative in their designs, as was the world the player gets to explore. Dealing with alternate realities, the narrative goes to some wildly interesting places, keeping the player guessing as the world and its mysteries slowly unveil themselves. The battle system was also uncommon for the genre, introducing a stamina bar that players needed to maintain to perform any action, resulting in a more strategic style of combat. Chrono Cross might not have been the follow-up to Chrono Trigger that many fans were hoping for, but it more than lives up to the legacy. The Legend of Dragoon.
Is this really necessary?
It is His Majesty, Emperor Dole's command to take that girl into custody.
Who is she?
That is not your concern.
The love for Legend of Dragoon has certainly grown exponentially over the years. When a system is as packed with incredible RPGs as the PS1, it's not hard for one of the greats to get overlooked. The Legend of Dragoon is more of a slow burn than many other RPGs of the time, but once the story finally starts in earnest, it's a worthy adventure full of meaningful lore and wonderfully written characters. What truly makes The Legend of Dragoon stand out, besides its incredible character designs, is its impressive battle system. While encounters were still traditionally turn-based, The Legend of Dragoon added quick-time event-style button prompts, which, if done correctly, could extend a player's combo for additional damage. While many other RPGs of the time stuck to the tried-and-true formula, The Legend of Dragoon took a unique approach to familiar mechanics and tropes and remains even more timeless because of it.
Not bad. I'm taking you with me.
Vagrant Story. Vagrant Story was overlooked by a lot of gamers, releasing in the middle of numerous other high-profile JRPGs, but thankfully has retrospectively received the accolades it always deserved. Thanks to the title's distinctive art style, Vagrant Story holds up remarkably well. Its gorgeous art direction, use of 3D environments, and exploration helped it not only stand the test of time, but remains a classic of the genre decades later. Vagrant Story's battle system further differentiated it from the genre's contemporaries, offering a deep tactical and strategic approach to combat. This forced players to think about their attacks, focusing primarily on the enemy's weaknesses and specific body parts. Vagrant Story also offered a much more mature narrative and darker themes than many of the other offerings on the PS1, which is also likely a factor in the game's longevity. Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX is one of the best Final Fantasy games of all time, full stop. Out of the 3 entries on the PS1, it arguably holds up the best. Not only are the visuals still as detailed and wonderfully creative as they were over 2 decades ago, but the gameplay, characters, and overall narrative remain some of the best in the entire series. Blending a mix of both traditional fantasy and steampunk, Final Fantasy IX adheres closer to the formula than any other entry since the PS1 era. FF9 ditched the convoluted junction system of Final Fantasy VIII, delivering a much cleaner and more streamlined system. They gave players the freedom to customize their playstyle by learning skills through equipment and ability points. With an incredible cast of characters, genuinely funny and emotionally charged moments, FF9 offers players one of the most rewarding experiences in the entire franchise. Which PS1 RPG do you still play even in the years of next-gen consoles and HD graphics? Share your favorites in the comments.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.